Good morning, America. Today is Memorial Day 2025, and I'd like to give you a Memorial Day challenge. Most people know what this is that are U.S. citizens. This, folks, is the Constitution of the United States of America. Today, what I'd like you to do as a challenge is not do push-ups, not do a run, swim, run, not do pull-ups, not run half a mile or run 5 miles or a marathon. I would like you to simply read this document, which is less than 3,000 words long, and I would like you to take the back of this document and sign it. Now, if you do read this document, the U.S. Constitution, the Constitution of the United States of America, if you do this challenge, just text me back your name or your city and state. The other part of the challenge is not just read this, but take Article 1 right here, this section right here, the first page. Look at the requirements for Article 1, and then go to your individual state's website for elections. Most people will find it under the Secretary of State website in their states. Go to that website and make certain that those same requirements are listed on the website. Now, it doesn't say you have to be a resident of the state. Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, New Hampshire, all of you, Colorado, you all have it wrong. It says, when elected, we're all looking at it right now, when elected, must be an inhabitant of that state from which he shall be chosen. Has anyone in America actually taken this thing to heart? When President Trump swore an oath to the Constitution, he did not put his hand on the Bible. There was a reason for that. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, knows damn well that at least 6 states have illegally altered the Constitution on their websites. Now, here's the challenge. Read the Constitution. When elected means the day you swear in office. That's the same day you have to be 25 or 35 years old for Congress. That's the day you have to be an inhabitant of the state. It doesn't say you have to own a home. It doesn't say anything that you have to live in a condo or an apartment. It doesn't say you have to own any kind of property. An inhabitant is someone that physically promises to be in that state when they're not in Congress, and to live in that state when they're on recess from Congress to represent that state. It doesn't say you have to live in the district. It doesn't say what kind of housing you have to live in. It doesn't even say you have to have a house. If you watch the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson, he didn't have a house after the war, but shouldn't he be able to run for Congress? That's the entire reason when they burned down the houses, the British burnt down the houses of all the American colonial army serving members and the naval serving members. They didn't have to have a home. Think about that, folks. The challenge today is to read the Constitution, and when you're done, sign the back, and then go to your individual state's website and check Article 1 against your state and their website. Now, keep in mind, when elected, must be an inhabitant of that state from which he shall be chosen. Now, when you get to Article 5, it tells you how to change the Constitution. In Article 6, it stipulates that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The only way to change the Constitution is by amendment. U.S. Title Code law or code law does not change the Constitution. So one U.S. code saying that the Constitution, the he means he, she, and it, is absolutely false. There was, after the 19th Amendment was voted for, ratified, and signed, a 20th Amendment was presented by women in the United States for an equal rights amendment. That amendment did not pass. Title VII is not an amendment. One U.S. code is not an amendment. It does not change the requirements in the Constitution. We have been lazy, people, and the person that's lazy the most is the one that you look at in the mirror. Take responsibility for your rights and liberties today that were sacrificed for, and we remember those people who made the sacrifice today on Memorial Day. Let's see if you can do the challenge. Put your city and state in and say yes if you've read the Constitution today, took the time to sit down and read it, and then look at your state's website and double check and make sure all of the requirements for U.S. Congressman, U.S. Representative, and U.S. Senate found in Article 1 are actually the same requirements that you see on the website for the elections requirements. It doesn't say you have to be a resident until the day, or an inhabitant until the day you swear in. And keep in mind, you don't have to swear on a Bible. If you're a different religion, like a Jewish person, they would swear on the Torah. If you're a Muslim, you would swear on your Quran, and etc. So please, read the Constitution of the United States. Understand what your rights and liberties are today, that people have sacrificed their lives for. Sign the back, and in signing the back, all you have to do is text me your city and state, and then tell me yes or no if the requirements match on the websites for the Secretary of State's office or the elections office of your state. I know in Alaska, it's the Lieutenant Governor's office, I believe, that does the elections up there. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong for your state. But most of the time, it's under the Secretary of State's office. So there's your challenge, folks. I hope you all live to the challenge today. God bless, and have a great day. And if you'd like, these are free at libraries. Some businesses have them. And I know that if you go to the public library, you can see them. You can Google it. It's on your phone for free. So if you have YouTube, we can do it. I'd like to do a class on the Constitution because I think, and I totally understand that even Yale is teaching it wrongly. It's kind of funny when Yale has a professor that's the child of two illegal immigrants, and he's teaching constitutional law. That's a joke. And he has no generational blessing of what any of this means. That gentleman doesn't have a clue, because he would know immediately that when this Constitution was written, women couldn't sign, they could not sign legal contracts, legal binding contracts. And there's no Equal Rights Amendment yet. I don't believe that should be happening. I think there should be an Equal Rights Amendment, but it has to be done correctly. And then also, you can't change the residence clause or the inhabitants clause. You cannot change the inhabitants clause as a state. That's illegal. And the minute you make one change to an to a legal binding contract, the entire contract is void. So how many of you, like myself, have sworn an oath to the Constitution of the United States to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic? Today, I'd like you to just read it. Let's read it. Let's do a constitutional challenge on Memorial Day, the Memorial Day Constitutional Challenge. Send me the city and state you're from and whether or not you check the website, yes or no, and whether or not the website's correct. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America, and have a great Memorial Day weekend.